Okay, step one on the undercarriage. Up in the air outside where we can make a mess. The entire bottom is coated in straight degreaser for now. About to kick up the pressure washer and do the first round of pressure washing, of which I expect to be at least 6 times total. We'll see. Watch the ears peel off her. We're getting there. Look at that original marker on the spindle. Isn't that cool? Almost all of that junk off of there. Same thing. It's probably what the workers' initials or something that had to put it together for making sure they were accountable for their actions there. Same with the grease pencils and stuff. The marks still existing. This is after a really kind of, this is after stage 2. Whole lot of blasting and degreasing chemicals. A lot of the factory cover still on it. It's gonna be tough to get a lot of that off there. Getting all the grease off the rear differential. I'm sure will make it a lot easier to take apart. The frame rail's cleaning up pretty nice. God, these tires, 50 years, so sitting still, they aired right up. Scary. How clean we are now though. We're just about ready to soak in degreaser one last time and then blast it for another couple of hours probably before the day's done, before we're ready for the rust inhibitor that we'll let sit on overnight. Okay, round 3. Okay, looks like we're down to steel in most of the areas now. Original paint marks from 1951 uncovered. Like an archaeologist over here. I love that crap. Love the history. It's my favorite. So now, frame looks good. That side looks fantastic. This is going to clean up well. So after 3 separate stages, totaling about 2-3 hours per stage, we are at the point of doing the OSPHO rust treatment. So basically this stuff's just going to eat on this rust and converts it. Get rid of all the flashing that you see, all the red, orange is going to be gone shortly. It goes to work on a lot of the pitting areas too. The original undercoating has held on well. We're going to blast off most of the edges where it is kind of peeling back in areas. Obviously it wasn't covered here because the fuel tank goes here. It would have been in the way when they sprayed. But we're going to go ahead and peel it back best we can, because Lord Almighty, to get all this off would be a fun time. A lot of heat, a lot of scraping. It's done well sitting in the dirt for the last 50 years to keep the floor pan looking great. So we're going to leave it in place, clean it up super well, maybe add to it with some spray undercoating to kind of blend it in some areas to cover some exposed steel that's going to be left over. Use some of the rattle can undercoating. Will match up probably pretty good. Areas like that. Pump it good. Pump it now. Bye-bye, rust. Got Captain America on you now. It's over. No protection. OSHA approved. No eye protection, no gloves. We die like men around here. I won't tell nobody. Oh, she doesn't watch our videos. We don't have to worry about her, right? OSHA approved. Just don't forget the flip-flops. It's good for you. Plus this stuff's good for the skin. Yeah, see? Here it goes. Look at you. Glasses, you think? Gangster. They don't call him Danny Danger for nothing. Ugh. So stinky. Now we soak it with this, then it'll sit overnight. Tomorrow we're gonna come back. We're gonna blast it again. Probably another 3 or 4 hours of blasting underneath of it after the rust treatment's been done to it. And then after all of that, we're gonna soak it again in the OSPHO rust treatment in the areas that didn't work out the first time. And then that's going to sit until we're ready to spray over what's left. So this product's pretty neat. You gotta check it out. You can actually spray over top of it. You let it do its job, you spray it on the rust, and then coat it right immediately afterwards. We're gonna take a wire brush and hit some of the hard scale that we found, but there's not a whole lot of that, so there's really no need to go in too far. Just a super good cleaning, reseal the whole thing, and then we're gonna pour 15 the whole bottom of this thing. So there'll be more information tomorrow. If Danny Danger survives the night with his acidic poisoning over here. Oh wait, we're okay. We got the ball cap. Safety. It's important. Alright, first round of rust prevention is put into place. You can already see it converting it. This isn't water. This is the OSPHO product, the acidic. Basically, it's just a rust eater. It just kind of gobbles it up and converts it over. It's an amazing product, really. I didn't believe it for many years, but after a bunch of different attempts doing a bunch of different things, it works. It does work. This is, once again, just the first application of the product, but we'll let this sit overnight, let it go to work, and then another excruciating time with the pressure washer. It's already converting in there where it was no more orange. All the orange and red is history already. Stuff's cool. Anywhere there was exposed metal has already changed colors from the earlier video where you saw the reds and the oranges of the flash rusting. So frame rails clean now, starting to be cleaned. These are aluminum covers, crazy on the leaf springs. Those will get cleaned with the wire brush once the rear end comes out to be detailed and rebuilt. Yeah, that frame's gonna look good. This is what we were worried about, sitting in the mud or dirt for the last 50 years. We were hoping that there wouldn't be any major scale or any rot. This is the reason we're not taking the body off the frame. We're trying to salvage it in place to save the money and time that would be associated with doing a job like that to that level. So now we just turned Danny Danger loose with the pressure washer all day, and this is the result. Danny Danger. Update in the morning. Welcome back, everybody. It's the next day. We're finally back from our shopping adventure to get more rust preventative and degreasers and miscellaneous to finish this job up. But this is what we have after one night soak on the first coating of this OSPO rust eater, taking it down to pretty much steel. A lot of little scale that we still have to wash off. So right now I'm about to do another round of pressure washing, which is awesome because this OSPO is actually eating away a lot of this undercoating, which we really wanted to get rid of, but it's far too time consuming and costly to do properly, to heat up and scrape and prime and paint. So very happy with that. Frame rails, no more rust scale on those. There are some spots that we missed with the first application yesterday, which is pretty much inevitable. That's what today's about. So we're gonna wash most of that scale back off best we can, high pressure. And then after that's done, we are going to soak, and I mean soak. We bought 4 more gallons of this product, and we are going to soak every nook, corner, and crevice. Now look at that frame rail. A lot of that's just going to wash off now. Sure is nice having a lift outside. Look at that. It's going back to the metal. Areas like this weren't sprayed, so you see the rust, the obvious rust, as opposed to the areas that were sprayed. So now here we go with another round. Hover car. So wire wheeled all the scale rust off of this frame and chassis. No major pitting at all, which is amazing considering she sat in dirt and mud for 50 years. Frame looks great. Everything looks good. All this front suspension is coming off, so there's no reason to go crazy detailing it quite yet. It'll all get sandblasted and brand new bushings. That spindle's coming off for a disc brake upgrade, I'm sure. So all that'll be taken off individually and then cleaned and painted under there. The rear axle is, of course, like you saw out of the car already. Gives us more access to the rest of the body pan so that we can adequately get this thing detailed out. The undercoating, it's made it for 70 years. It's going to keep making it. No matter what we do to it, it doesn't come off. So great news there. Some of this other scale that was underneath, actually that's not, that is just more of that undercoating. So we're going to go ahead and blast it another coating with the OSPO rust inhibitor, or the rust eater actually. Get that on there, blast that up, let that soak overnight with a super thick coat of it, and then by tomorrow we should be ready to coat this thing. Coming along, coming along, coming along. So last thing for the day, we're just gonna spray the heck out of it in all the other exposed areas to make sure that this thing puts a nice barrier between the metal and the rust. And then pour 15 the whole bottom, frame, chassis, suspension, everything. The rear end we're going to probably end up doing bearings, seals, rebuilding that torque tube, new brakes, new drums, new wheel cylinders, new lines for the brake lines, leaf spring bushings, where we place those. They're shot. Get that all detailed and painted. By that time the bottom here will be finished and it'll be time to put it all back together. Another day in paradise. Time for the next step. It's that time to do some coating. That rust eater did a really good job in etching the frame and every piece of the metal exposed for us. That was awesome. Oh, looks like we might be scraping just a little bit more off of it. It peeled back some of that bed liner, luckily. Maybe we'll pressure wash it one more time. I don't know. Either way, she gets painted today underneath. Yes, sir. Underbody wash. Whatever works. First coat of POR 15 on the chassis. Gotta say, beautiful. Mixing up some more paint. Gonna do the bottom of the pan, floor pan there. The suspension we're gonna leave alone for now until we rip it apart to put all new stuff in it. So that'll all get POR 15 after the rebuild. Sandblast all the arms. Get it ready. Oh, we're getting somewhere now. Look at thee, looky. God, that stuff's awesome.